Hey everyone! So this week on Zern, they're really going to dig into money. And so I wanted to go over some things that have to do with how we can make it easy to count coins and some strategies that we already know that will help us do this. So I wrote, looks kind of complicated right here, but I have 1/4 plus 3 dimes plus 1 nickel. It's hard to point at the right thing. Plus 2 pennies. So down here, I'm going to show you what that would look like, okay? So if I have a 1/4, 3 dimes, 1 nickel, and 2 pennies. That's what it would look like, but now we have to think about how we can count them, right? Oops, sorry, 1/4. Okay, so we need to think first, we can do it in a couple different ways. We can count largest to smallest, and so let's try that first. If we were counting largest, we know that the quarter is the largest coin, and it's worth 25 cents. So on my paper, I'm going to write down 25. Now I'm adding. The next biggest are the dimes, and they are each worth how many? 10. So we have 10, 20, 30. So now I'm adding 25 plus 30. This is what we still have to add. Okay, then we count the next biggest. The next biggest is a nickel, which is worth 5 cents. So 30 plus 5 plus our pennies, which are only worth 1. So 1, 2 cents plus 2. Okay, so what we end up with is this equation, 25 plus 30, which is equal to 55, plus 5 would be 60, plus 2, we have 62 cents. And remember, the cent symbol is just a little C with a line through it. So that's one way to do it. But another way to do it that I think might be easier is to make 10. So think about our make 10 strategy, okay? So I'm going to put these same coins out. We have 1/4, 3 dimes, 1 nickel, and 2 pennies. If I want to make 10, I know that a quarter only makes 25. And if I wanted to make the next 10, what coin would I want to add to this quarter to get there? The next 10 after 25 would be 30, so I need my nickel. When I put these together, I have 30. 30, then count by tens. 30, 40, 50, 60, 61, 62. And so to me, that's a lot easier. So let's try it with a different one. So here are our strategies. We can count, large to small, or we can count make 10. So let's try this one now. We're going to have a 1/4. I'll show you down here. We're going to have a 1/4, 2 pennies, 1 nickel, and 2 dimes. So if you're going largest to smallest, we need to start with our quarter, 25 plus 10 plus 10. So 35, 45. Plus 5 would be 50, 51, 52. But if I wanted to make 10, 25 plus 5 I know makes 30. 30, 40, 50, 51, 52. Okay, and let's try one more. I hope that this is making sense. Usually when we do the large to small, you'd have to write out an equation. But it's also important, if you have any coins around the house, try to use them. There are also some websites that you can find coins and just kind of do it virtually and move them over. But that really helps me move them over as you count them like I have been, okay? So here we have 1/4. We're going to do 1 penny, 3 nickels, 1, 2, 3, and 1 dime. Okay, so I'm going to make 10. And remember, I'm going to move them over to one side when I know that I've already counted that one. Okay, so if I'm going to make 10, I know that 25 cents plus a nickel will be 30. So that's 30 cents, 40 cents. I know 5 plus 5 is 10, so this is 50 cents. Plus 1 is 51 cents. So there we have 51 cents. There are two ways to write it. We can look at it like this, or we can do $0, like that. Both of those are going to mean 51 cents. Okay, now let's look at our application problem for today. It says Rita has 19 more pennies than Carlos, and Rita has 27 pennies. So how many pennies does Carlos have? So right away we know who has more. In our sentence it says Rita has 19 more. Remember, look for those keywords in your word problems. If Rita has more pennies, I already know she has the most. So if I were to draw a tape diagram, I want to draw one that represents Rita. Sorry, not a good artist. One that represents Rita, and then Carlos's would be smaller, right? Now, if Rita has 27, I'm going to label it 27. But we want to know how much Carlos has. So this is our question mark. If we know that she has 19 more, what do I need to do to find this? I need to take this away. And when we take something away, because this is the 19 more, we have to subtract. So I'm going to take 27 minus 19. Remember, there are lots of ways to do this. Let's take 10 away. So if I'm taking 10 first, I'll split it into 10 and 9. If I take 10 away, 27 minus 10 would be 17. And then I'm left with 17 minus 9, which you could count down. You could count up from 9. If I'm going to count up from 9, I'm going 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So 5 plus 3 is 8. Okay, so how many pennies does Carlos have? Carlos has 8 pennies. Okay, guys, remember, message me if you have any questions, and we'll see you tomorrow.